apart, and there's just a fucking doorway, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And you open it, it's just people like, hey, we've been waiting for you guys.
That was from NBC News.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Oh wait, that's ESPN.
Yeah. I think the only thing I could think about is from NBC would be the NBA song. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, bro.
I know why he's laughing, because the first thing he thought about was the Kawhi Leonard laugh remix they did with that shit.
Exactly. God damn it. That was good.
So this is from 2011. So they used deep radar back in 2009, 2010 to do digital mapping. That's when they thought they found some evidence of it.
You know what's funny though, when it comes to the lost city of Atlantis, the only record kept by it is from Plato.
Yep, in his dialogues.
That's the only record we have. We don't actually have any actual like historical records outside of Plato's dialogues.
And that and a couple of guys saying, like, check under the Sphinx. There's some information that'll lead you to Atlantis, or find the capstone to the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's under the fucking pyramid.
Wouldn't that be crazy? You like take the whole pyramid apart, and there's just a fucking doorway, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And you open it, it's just people like, hey, we've been waiting for you guys.
It's been a couple thousand years. How are you?
Like, guys, like we gave you legit instructions. I don't see how you could not have understood.
The pharaohs knew how to find us.
What are you guys dying from famine over here? Bro, we got all the diseases and cures over here.
Yeah, we heard you guys have something called coronavirus. Would you like a treatment for all of them?
That 9-year-old chicken slip along the fucking wall? The one with the crow shitting on a donkey or whatever the fuck that is?
The what?
I don't know.
All I heard, it sounded like he said something about a crow shitting on a donkey.
Donkey.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. That didn't make a lot of sense, but
hieroglyphics
definitely got our attention. Okay, so like my theory, and this is all from a geographical standpoint, is that Atlantis was actually located in the Eye of the Sahara.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Because if you look at the Eye of the Sahara, geographically speaking, there was a massive amount of like soil and earth pushed inland. And that would only happen during a major cataclysm such as a tsunami.
And there was word that there were like rivers that led to it and away from it back.
Well, there is. I mean, there's you could see evidence that the mountain range behind the Eye of the Sahara actually had waterfalls there at one point, and the Eye of the Sahara itself shows evidence of water erosion. Not only that, but it also fits the description of 3 concentric circles surrounded by water with the waterfall in the distance. Just geographically speaking, if you use the layout of the land and what the area looked like hundreds of years ago, it's the only area that makes the most sense.
True. I have a theory that, like, you know, they say like its possible location could be Bermuda Triangle and Antarctica, in between North America and Europe, and apparently they found evidence of Atlantis. I think that those were colonies of Atlantis, and the one in the Bermuda Triangle was the capital. Think about it. You're an advanced race. Why the hell stop at just one? Like, of course, you're going to expand.
Now you're thinking like an American.
Imperialism. Wait, that's the British.
That's not that far. We're not that far off.
No, we're not. We got bases all over the planet
Yep.
with
You know what I mean?
treaties and permission to have them there.
This idea that like, oh, we're spreading democracy. Nah, bro, we're colonizing.
Yep.
I mean, you can get a what, a souvenir of an American flag in just about anywhere in the world now.
Damn near.
Can't really do that here.
I bet you could buy Budweiser almost anywhere in the world.
I don't know about that. Maybe. I mean, I know for a fact that you could get Coca-Cola anywhere in the world.
Yeah. That's the most American thing out there.
Oh, minus
But
the
yeah,
Coke.
Well, yeah. The real
you guys,
Coke.
I mean, when it's all said and done, I personally don't think that Atlantis was a real place.
I think it was, and we just forgot about it.
I mean that could be too. You know what I mean?
I
It would
think
also.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I think it could have been like it could have been a real place, and it's kind of like that whole never meet your superhero deal where it was overhyped, and in the ancient world people believed that this place existed, and the word kept getting out that there's like this magical land in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, but we okay. So like we get this for America, right?
Yeah.
America's people hype us up, and like for example, I come from Latin America, and you know when you're down there, people tell you, "Oh, this is so great. You're basically raking in money. This and that," but it's not the truth.
No.
So like it's obviously being embellished a lot.
Let me backtrack. That's not what I was getting at. No, I'm getting at like back. I'm talking about like back in that ancient time period. There was probably like a lot of like hype about a land existing among like the poor slaves and all that in other countries. And once you get to a certain point, and realize it's not there, then that's when all like, well, where is this land that we've all heard of?
Ah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah.
You're
So
thinking
they're
like a Graceland type of situation. Like
right where
it's
you had all
shitty
this
here, but it's gonna be better on the other side.
Yeah, like there's word from others that there's like this great beautiful place that we can go to, and there's like this civilization that's like making stones into gold, and you know what I'm saying, and cures for the incurable and all that. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, but like where I'm getting at is when it comes to like for example America, in a lot of poor countries they talk about America in that way, right? But the thing is that like we're a legitimate place. You can go there. There's historical record of us.
Oh yeah.
How do you know that the historical records weren't removed?
By
Anyone who does not want people to know about Atlantis.
but that would mean that there has to be some kind of global conspiracy. Like there has to be so many things because okay, for example, right? So for example, there has to be such a conspiracy to the point where every governing power that's currently in control now would have had to conspire together to agree that like we need to get rid of all this information. But even now, historically, we have a hard time fucking doing that because when you're in the States, you know, you learn a lot about the American Revolution. Guarantee you won't learn a lot about the American Revolution in England.
Nope.
Sure.
It might be a couple of paragraphs about their part, but that's
I mean, think about it. How much did we learn about the Spanish-American War? Because when I was in high school, it was one paragraph.
If that. I've learned more on my own about that than I ever did in high school.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. And so the whole public school system, they teach you shit that is completely wrong, or they teach you shit that
they teach you this curriculum that's like based on patriotism.
Yeah, that was my point exactly. It would mean that every country on the planet right now would have had to agree that in order to maintain patriotism, we had to erase that from the historical records.
Right. And it's kind of like what you're getting at. And like every country would have to agree, hey, we're gonna all keep this under wraps because we can't let everyone know about it. And I get where you're coming from, Rick. Like I can't see every like power on the planet agreeing on that, but I can see maybe like I was telling Bulls this earlier, maybe like a secret society
We've done this
keeping it
once.
quiet.
We've agreed on one thing ever as a globe.
The Geneva Convention.
No, is that the one where we agreed not to colonize Antarctica?
No, that was the one about not using chemical weapons in warfare.
Oh yeah,
After
nah,
World War
because
One.
that's not even true. Because look at what's his name? Was it? Fuck, I
Saddam
forgot. He's not Saddam Hussein. Gaddafi? Was it Gaddafi? The one dude that was using the helicopters to kill his own people a couple years back.
Dude, there's been a lot of dictators that have done stuff like
Gaddafi
that.
was famous for shooting those missiles at those planes and missed.
Yeah,
I think
no, but there was another. I think it was Gaddafi who was using chemical warfare against his own people, and like
Him and also like Saddam Hussein.
yeah. So basically, I mean,
America.
when
No.
it comes to like just to get back on track, when it comes to Atlantis, I think it's more of the Julio route where it's people that are struggling trying to like create this like magical place where you can go to and everything's okay.
That's like a comedian that I like watching. He was talking about how people in China say that the streets in the U.S. are lined with gold, and he's like, I can see why they would say that, but it's not really the truth. Like the streets aren't lined with gold.
No, it's just you. There's just more opportunity because
Oh yeah.
the money that you make stays with you and you're not fucking giving it back to the government. Well, never mind.
I don't think that's how it works completely. I wish that was the
I
case.
was gonna be like, never
Yeah.
mind.
No,
Never
it's called
mind.
federal income tax. We also got to file our taxes pretty soon, boys.
Okay, so with that said, right, with the with me stating that I don't necessarily think that Atlantis was a real place, right? I'm gonna play
Mhm.
devil's advocate on myself and use pyramids. Yeah, we're gonna go back to pyramids, right?
All right.
And use pyramids to counter my argument. So, if a place like Atlantis did exist and it went down overnight and it was in the middle of the ocean, that means that citizens from said place dispersed in various directions, correct?
Right.
Which would ultimately explain how various civilizations learned pyramid building around the same time in history.
So, can we also relate that to like the building of the Great Wall in China, building
Oh
of
no, no,
hold on,
no,
hold on, hold on, hold on.
wait.
No, because the
No.
building of the Great Wall on
The
China
Great
had
Wall
had
of
an
China
actual
was not.
purpose.
Yeah, it was a wall.
I know, hold
It
on.
was a
I'm not done
massive.
yet. We're saying people like
Now,
spread around the globe,
now
right?
Hmm?
you could say the pyramids that are in China because there are pyramids in China.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
you
exactly what
guys.
I'm saying. So, for example, the pyramid building. I'm speaking specifically about the pyramid building because in order to build like you could build the wall, right? Like building
Yeah,
a wall doesn't take very much talent per se, but
but
building
a
a
pyramid
pyramid requires
and the specs that
understanding
they built it.
geometry.
Not to mention, each pyramid can be found on a nexus in the earth
Yeah,
to a certain point where if you I forgot exactly if you multiply its size by I forgot the actual number, it would actually give you the full circumference of the earth.
of the
And the
earth.
same can
Yep.
be said for the ones along the equator, because that could give you the diameter of the earth as
So
well.
that would be a counter argument simply because a lot of the pyramids did start being constructed around the same period in history as far as like within the same 500-year range.
And they all serve the same purpose. They weren't tombs.
So yeah, that would be my devil's advocate argument, like rebuttal towards somebody that's like a complete non-believer.
Like the only reason I'd say so you remember Like they said that there were some parts of Egypt that were reclaimed by the sand.
Yeah, because
And
it shifts.
anything that sits on sand eventually begins to sink
Hmm.
until you run out of sand for it to sink, right? So I was getting that. I'm starting to think that maybe what if when Atlantis, disappeared and that energy source that they tapped into was gone because basically they used it as an energy source. I don't know for what because they didn't really specify, but if Atlantis pretty much disappeared and the source of that energy field or that usefulness disappeared, what if they were using that to keep everything that they had built from sinking into the sand? And as soon as that shit was gone, as soon as you can no longer power the big ass factory, or at least um, route
Generate
it
the
so
same
that
amount
way,
of energy.
yeah, everything, the full weight of everything just started to hit the sand. Next thing you know, over the years, it just kept sinking and sinking. As the Sphinx itself, after they dug it the hell out, it showed over 15,000 years worth of water damage and water erosion at the base of it, right?
Yep.
Meaning that it predates the Egyptian Empire by a lot. Meaning that it
Yep.
was there before them, which means whatever the Egyptians built is sitting on top of a buried world or a buried colony, as it were. Because whatever was there probably sank beneath the sand.
Did Julio freeze?
No, I'm right here.
He's looking at whatever he's looking at, trying to figure out how he's gonna touch his toes. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's pretty much my entire theory that all of the ancient civilizations are linked by that power source, which is why they built those pyramids. And that power source also allowed them to do things with inanimate objects and tools that they normally couldn't.
Fuck them.
Did you really just send that text message?
Mhm.
You big bitch. Sorry, you forget. Me and Ricky are both like we're the two biggest conspiracy theorists in the group. So of course this is gonna happen.
Oh
Ooh,
shit!
nice
What the
sideways.
fuck?
Another
What the
conspiracy.
fuck is?
Why does Ricky's phone keep messing around with them?
Oh, bro, you're gonna be upset. Go ahead, bro. Talk about your Great Wall.
What I was gonna say is you got stuff like the ancient ruins for the Mayans and a couple others like around the world, right? You got all these different sites. How do you know this civilization didn't spread and help lead the designs to all these things that we have, like all these wonders of the world?
Just
That's
completely
what I was
change
gonna
the
say.
argument.
Well, I honestly believe that they were also in communication with each other. Because how else could you build the pyramids at the exact perfect spot that they need to be built?
Because Atlantis sunk and
What the
all
fuck?
their
The
master
aliens?
builders went in separate directions, thus meeting all these other civilizations simultaneously and teaching them geometry.
And basically how to manipulate whatever energy fields they manipulated before their city sank. Oh, for real, left. Did we pick them off again? Because we just kept interrupting. Like,
I don't know. There he
fuck
is.
it.
Oh, okay. There he is.
Yeah, I'm trying to I still got issues with the Wi-Fi here at the house, man.
Oh, I thought you were just hella pissed off and you left.
No.
He's like, since we they did it again.
No, I'm not that petty, goddammit.
I'm pretty sure you are because you just fucking sent us a text message instead of saying it on the video.
Yeah, and then pouting about it like,
Bro,
I'm gonna kill both of y'all.
I'm sorry, bro. I love you. This is just one of the
Yeah.
things that I've actually looked into the most.
yeah.
Well, we might
I'm
be
not gonna
doing
lie. I'll
Bermuda
take
Triangle next week, so
I mean, come on, guys. I was the guy chasing you guys around in high school going, bro, have you guys seen this?
yeah, no,
yeah.
that's true. You were the high school conspiracy theorist that kind of got everybody like, what the fuck is wrong with Ricky?
Actually, I
People still
never
say
heard.
that.
Yeah, I mean, they say that about all of us.
Not me. They knew I was bad shit.
That is a big ass can.
This one here?
So,
Mm-hmm.
It's a tall
hitting
can.
at
It's one.
the Bermuda Triangle. There's also a theory that there is a secret underwater base built on the ruins of Atlantis that is utilizing the energy harnessed from the Earth through the ruins to power a trans-dimensional gateway. So
So
either
I've
go to
heard.
different
It
or
was aliens.
I've heard. Nice. That was pretty good. So I've heard a
there's
little bit
also
about this one.
alien civilization down there too.
So I've heard a little bit about this one. Like some of the words, some of the theories I've heard is that it's been around since like before World War II, and that's why there's been so many disappearances in that area of like ships and planes since that time frame moving forward, where they think that a lot of these like different ships and even like military personnel have stumbled across it, and because they don't want the word to, nobody wants the word to get out. These people pretty much get held there captive, or they just completely disappear at that very location. Did you guys bring this up again? No, you
No,
didn't.
Yeah,
you
you
did.
shows up again. But I mean, before we start jumping back into fucking a different conspiracy theory, are we wrapping this one up? Because we're at the
What the
25-minute
fuck?
mark.
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
I mean, we can go for another couple minutes.
Well, it's up to you guys because it seems like you guys are trying to bounce to the next conspiracy theory. Although I do like what you've done with your room, Julio, where it's like, only focused on you.
Nice.
Or are you just taking up so much space that the lens doesn't know how to focus in the background?
No, like might be the fucking lens.
Oh shit!
The hell's wrong with you?
I'm allergic to bullshit.
All right, Mike.
Mike Honcho?
No, Mike from Bad Boys 2.
Mike Lowry.
Yep, Mike Larry. Trigger Mike.
King Ding-a-ling.
I can see bulls shooting people at the airport.
Did I show you guys that?
What?
Oh,
Nah,
yeah.
nigga, not your ding-a-ling, cuz.
Bro,
That's
do you not see
not a
it?
thing.
No,
You
you
don't
went out
see
of
it?
frame again. You disappeared.
No, he didn't. I can see it. Quit lying.
I can't see him. Like he disappeared on my
And
screen.
that's your shitty camera.
You can't see my
No, I
hand right
think
there?
that's my shitty internet. What the fuck? There we
It's
go.
right in the middle of his video.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you showed us the other day.
Yeah.
See, turtle.
By the way, were you driving like on Appian Way earlier? Going towards Pinole?
What time?
Like around before 6:30? 6:30-ish?
I mean, I was driving there. I went by there maybe like at 3 o'clock.
Okay, but you weren't out there with the dogs in the back of the car?
No, there.
Wow. Somebody
I
jumped
saw-
the gun.
Sorry.
Nah, that's not me, dog.
I saw a blue Nissan Rogue with dogs hanging out the window, so I thought it was you.
Yes.
I would have thought you'd memorize his license plate.
Contrary to part, just to let you know, most companies sell more than one of the same car.
I'm aware of that.
The profit.
And the same color.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I love you guys. I'm gonna hop off.
Yes, same here. All right, brother.
Have a good night.
Good show, y'all.
Bulls, you have a good
Later.
night, your girl, man. I'm about to jump onto my laptop and work on the podcast stuff.